Because apparently an MS-13 gang member is more deserving of a fair trial in America than a former president. Again, I can't believe there are still people like this in 2025. You know, I guess I just thought that since Donald Trump got elected and the majority of the country elected him, that we would be moving past a lot of this. But I fear this series, reacting to woke TikToks, is going to be on my channel for a long time. Again, with you guys not existing in reality, it's very frustrating as somebody who's very in tune with reality to have to exist in a world of people who are so utterly disconnected. What is up, you guys, and welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, we discuss all things culture and politics, and in today's video, it's time for another woke TikToks. Yeah, prepare yourself now. Go get a snack, a water, perhaps a drink, whatever you need to get through the insanity that is wokeism, that is liberalism, that is the woke left who have completely lost their minds. But before we get into it, please make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel if you feel so inclined. You don't have to, but you should. Be sure to follow my TikTok and other social medias in the description down below. And if you want to support my work, you can donate via a super thanks or by joining my channel memberships for as low as $5 a month. And with all of that out of the way, let's get into the mess, shall we? First up on the docket.
This message is for the cartel. We didn't ask for this. We don't want any problems with you. Honestly, I was a big fan of your products in my 20s, okay?
Same, honestly. Anyways.
I had a lot of fun. But might I suggest breaking the rules, get high on your own supply, and the man you're looking for lives at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue in Washington, D.C. Maybe pay him a little visit.
Okay, I'm convinced the liberals have completely lost it. Like, there is currently no known cure for TDS. Actually, there's currently no known cure. But I think if Big Pharma should fund anything, it should be researching a cure to TDS because it's actually insane at this point. Okay, Donald Trump won the election. Get over it. All right? I can't believe. I know I say this every video. I just still can't believe that in 2025 we are still having this conversation. Like, I thought it wasn't edgy anymore to like Trump, but every day I'm proven wrong on that fact. And the other fact that there is still so many liberals who are calling for violence, political violence against our president is insane. How are we still doing this? Bruh. You guys need to get a grip, okay? It's not normal. There is something psychologically wrong with you, okay? Even if you're kind of joking about this, like, I don't really think you guys are joking, especially considering that Trump did survive multiple assassination attempts. So it's not normal to think like this. Okay, this is not normal behavior. There is something wrong with you, and you guys need to get it together. Because as much as I dislike Joe Biden and many of the others that have come before him, never in my wildest dreams would I want to see my own president of the country I live in be harmed, let alone unalived. Like, are you guys okay? But they think we're the crazy ones. They think you and me, all right? They think you and me are the crazy ones. Get a grip. This is just such weird behavior to actually hit record, say those words out of your mouth, play it back, look at it and think, yeah, this is a hit, and then post it. Could never be me. I can't relate. I just don't get it. There's no saving people like this. If you're still in this headspace in 2025 and still dislike Donald Trump so much, your TDS is so strong that you actually wish he, as your president of the US, would be unalived, I don't know how to help you. You're very behind. You need to catch up, okay? You really need to catch up because Trump is not nearly as bad as honestly a lot of people wish he was. This is crazy. Next.
My mama heart is so full today. And I have you guys to thank for that because the kids started school and they came home so happy. So happy. Like more than I could have ever asked for. My youngest, who is our non-binary child, mentioned that a lot of the teachers have like safe space stickers on their classroom doors.
Your youngest? Your youngest. I don't even want to know how old her youngest is. I'm going to hold back and let her finish before I rip her ass to shreds.
our oldest, who is our transgender child, we had to go and sit with the guidance.
Y'all heard that. Y'all heard that, right? Right, that wasn't just me. Oh my God. I'm just gonna compose myself for a minute. Okay, so your youngest is non-binary and your oldest is transgender. What is the likelihood of that? What's the likelihood of that? It's about this much. This whole thing is so sick and twisted. Again, I can't believe there are still people like this in 2025. You know, I guess I just thought that since Donald Trump got elected and the majority of the country elected him, that we would be moving past a lot of this. But I fear this series, reacting to woke TikToks, is going to be on my channel for a long time. It's here to stay, bitch, because these people, they're so deep in the indoctrination, there's no pulling them out. But what is sick and twisted is they are pulling their children into it. The likelihood of having a transgender child to begin with is so slim. And we all know about the non-binary to transgender pipeline. I mean, we all know about that. So I give it, what, a year or two until the youngest decides they want to be like their older sibling, and now they're trans too, and now this woman just somehow miraculously has 2 transgender children. I cannot with these people. Obviously, like, it depends on how far these parents want to take it, but at some point, you know, you guys know I'm very much not into government interference. I really don't want the government interfering into any aspect of my life, but since they are, and since they always will, how about the government steps into this, right? How about we start stepping in to parents who somehow miraculously have several transgender or queer children? How about we start stepping into that and investigating that? Because this is just not normal. It is so wrong. As we all know, I don't need to go on the diatribe. The likelihood that her 2 kids will remain in this phase, let's call it what it is, clock it, it's a phase. The likelihood they will remain in this is pretty much 0. Okay, we've seen it a million times, and we're gonna continue to see it a million more times, right? If you, lady, if you dare let your child hurt themselves, change something about themselves, God forbid, that will have lifelong effects that they can never change back, all at the feet of your woke altar, you are a terrible person. I am not looking forward to the next 10 to 15 years. Let's get that out there, right? Because the next 10 to 15 years, we are going to see countless stories of all of these kids who were convinced in their youth and in their adolescence that they are in fact transgender when they're not. They are all going to start having those realizations in the next 10 to 15 years. And the psychological effects and damage we are going to see on this group of people is going to be crazy. And it's not obviously a good thing. Who knows how damaging the psychological effects and physical effects are going to be? Honestly, we don't really know yet. I mean, we're only just starting to see some of the damage that this ideology is doing. And on that inevitable day, when her children, or perhaps both of her children, realize they are not in fact transgender or non-binary, and they have to deal with the potential side effects and things that they have done to themselves, she needs to be held accountable, period.
Counselor, because they're in 11th grade, and we had to make sure that everything would align for graduation requirements. So at that time, we mentioned, you know, the preferred name being Lilac.
Stop it right now. Lilac. So not only do you allow your children to be transgender, you also allow them to have retarded names like that. Lady, be so for real. You really need to be looking out for your children more, because I'm telling you right now, you're not doing a very good job at it right now.
It was no problem. It was done like that. And we told her, you know, we're having it legally changed. And she's like, great, you know, bring that paperwork. That helps when it comes to applying for colleges. But other than that, no big deal. What pronouns do you want to use? We didn't even have to bring it up. It's great. And this is upstate.
Remind me to never raise children in upstate New York.
They're so happy. So, thank you to everybody.
No. They're happy now. Okay, they're not gonna be happy in a few years once they realize what the hell they've done to themselves. Even if her children haven't actually transitioned, yes, you know what I'm talking about. They haven't actually done anything to themselves. Perhaps they're just dressing a certain way, that is still going to have psychological effects on those teenagers going into adulthood. This ideology mentally stunts people to some extent. It's going to affect the way that you look at yourself, the way that you view intimate relationships, the way that you view relationships in general. This ideology has lifelong damaging effects to your mental space and your mental state. I cannot believe there are still parents in 2025 with all of the stats and all of the research and information that we have about transgenderism. I simply cannot believe that there are still parents who are out here supporting it and going along with it and encouraging it. It's so wrong. I'm not really a fan, like I said earlier, of government entities and agencies being involved in our lives. But people like this are the reason that those agencies exist, right? There's a reason why we had to create departments like CPS. And it's because people like this woman, I don't really care if she thinks she's doing a good thing because she's objectively doing a terrible thing by encouraging her children to be queer or trans or non-binary, okay? It's objectively a bad thing to do. She can't see that. Because she's operating on such a low vibration, she just doesn't understand that what she's doing is incredibly wrong and dangerous and harmful to her children. So this is kind of the exact situation in which you need departments and government agencies and whatnot to step in. If they're going to step in, it should be in a situation like this, okay? Just because we may not be seeing any physical damage or harm to her children right now, there will be in the future. It is so wrong. And yes, I am judging you if you go along with this at this point in time. Like, at what point do you guys just start to get it? You gotta get it. You guys just have to catch up. Some of you guys who are still like entrenched in liberalism and wokeism and all this are so lost. You're so behind. The rest of us figured out a long time ago that this is just Marxism. Okay, these are classic Marxist tactics to change reality and convince you that what you know to be true, what you know is reality, what you know is normal, is not. That's literally what they do. And all of this gender stuff is such classic Marxist tactics. And unfortunately, it has worked so well on some of y'all. And it has just got its claws in your brains, man, that I still have to sit here and make a video like this and call you out. I'm never going to tell an adult what to do. I'm just not. I mean, I can have my opinions about it. I can have my feelings about it, but it's not my place or the government's place to tell an adult how to run their own life. But when it's children, it's just so wrong. And I'm stunned. I really am stunned. I've been making videos for 2 or 3 years now and we're still talking about this. Apparently the videos are still needed. So let's see what else there is to clock.
Hey, to all of the people who are against Carmelo Anthony, me as a black man in America, white people, I'm telling you and I'm telling you now, you ever even think to approach me, bully me, harass me, think you're going to be with your twin brother or twin whatever and do anything to me, I too will poke you as well. Straight to the heart.
Why are they all so violent? Can someone please explain to me, why is the left so violent? Is it because they're just that immature? Is it because they're stupid? What is it?
Bruh.
Interestingly enough, they love to talk about gun violence and how Republicans are so violent with our guns. Yet we can actually control our behavior and our impulses. Why can't you guys? What is it about liberalism and their ideologies and philosophies and tactics that makes these people feel empowered and emboldened to get on the internet and make threats like that? Okay, newsflash, buddy, you live in America, okay? Well, this at least once was mostly white people. You can't be walking around society with that attitude.
Stop the cap.
Because, I'm sorry, there's white people all around you, all right? It's just the way it is. And honestly, white people are too nice.
Hurrah!
Some of you guys are too nice. The shit that you let these people gaslight you into believing is true, and the things that you let them gaslight you into feeling bad about is unbelievable. Like, I am so tired of it. I don't tolerate things like this anymore. If it's okay for liberals to get online and say stuff like this so nonchalantly, then why can't I get online and say what I have to say about it? Why can't I get on here and say that this is wrong and that liberalism and wokeism and all of these other Marxist ideologies embolden people to say crazy things like this and make threats of violence? I'm going to come on here and say that and condemn it. If you don't like it, maybe stop supporting people like this. Until white people start condemning this type of thing and this type of behavior, it's never going to stop. It's probably only going to get worse. I know what I'm saying might still be a little controversial for people. I don't know how. In the whole year of 2025, I don't know how what I am saying is controversial, but apparently it is. White people, you gotta get a grip. You gotta get a grip. Stop letting them make you feel bad for being who you are. Stop letting them threaten you like this, unchecked. Take back control. I mean, this is our country. Like, why is it that white people, we are the only race of people that just don't get to have a homeland? Do we? No, we don't. We just don't get to have it. They've completely taken over Europe, right? They have shipped Islam and Muslims all over into Europe, and now they're doing it here in America. Why don't we get a homeland? Everybody else gets a homeland, but it's controversial if I say that America is mostly white. It's a white country. It's a Christian country, like at its core, at its foundation. Why is that controversial?
Stop the cap.
Like, I'm so sick of this. Why is that controversial? It's not. It's reality. And it's not that black people or Mexican people or Asian people, it's not that you can't be here. You just need to know your place, though, and respect the order and society of things, okay? I would never go over to the Middle East and start acting a fool and being offended that the customs and cultures there derive mostly from Islam and other Middle Eastern cultural things, right? Like, that's so not my place as a white person to do that. Why is it okay for everybody else to do that here? You know?
And that's on self-defense. This is not the Jim Crow era. This ain't 400 years ago. This ain't 1619.
What are you talking about, bro?
Bruh.
Literally, what? Oh my gosh. I cannot believe what they have done to people. I cannot believe how far they have set race relations back. And it's mostly at the fault of white people because white people go along with it.
This ain't back in them days. Y'all don't want to end up like Austin. Leave black people alone.
Really leave black people alone. Really. Maybe you guys should leave us alone. If you want the truth, maybe you should leave us alone. Let's get so real here. All of the statistics that we have prove that for some reason, the black population is way more violent. I don't understand why that is controversial to say. Don't you guys want to address the problem? Don't we want black people to thrive? Because if you do, I'm sorry, we need to get real here and address that there is a serious cultural issue within the black community where they feel perfectly emboldened, encouraged, and okay to say things like this and to act on it, as we saw with the Austin Metcalf thing. I am beyond tired of compensating for other people's feelings because this conversation is uncomfortable. Y'all need to get your shit together. Black people, you need to get the dads back in the home, okay? You need to assert some order back into your guys' households by getting dads back in the home. Women, black women, you need to stop treating black men so disrespectfully so that they don't want to leave home all the time. You guys need to start getting more legit with your businesses, okay? Enough with the gang violence, all right? Enough with the drug trafficking. Like, I get it, all right? I've been there too. Believe it or not, I have beat federal indictments, okay? I get it. But it gets to a point where it's actually insane that you're going to come on here in a video and act as though we're the problem.
Stop the cap.
Look in a mirror. It's time for the black community to address the root issues. I want y'all to thrive and succeed in life too. But as long as you guys keep engaging in and promoting the current culture and standards that you guys have in your community, the worse racial tensions are going to be, that's for sure. And the little chance you guys have at succeeding and thriving, you know? And it's just really sad that for some reason it's controversial to say all this. For some reason, it's offensive to say this. Like, why? This comes out of a place of concern, a place of care. I want the best for all people, regardless of color. But since we're talking about black people right now, because this one just threatened me as a white person, I'm so done with the sugarcoating. I'm so done acting like what I am saying is racist or what I am saying is crazy. What I am saying is what every person on the planet thinks deep down and knows is true because it's reality. And it's coming, like I said, out of a place of concern and care for this community and this group of people. Do you not want the black community to thrive? Because the way you guys keep protecting what they have going on right now is weird, okay? It makes me think that you actually maybe deep down hate black people. You resent them or something, because why do you want them to continue to be in the situations that they find themselves in? It's weird. It is not normal for the Austin Metcalf situation to happen. It is not normal for a situation to go from a typical teenage tussle to someone getting stabbed in the heart. Newsflash, that is very bizarre. And no, we should all condemn that because it was wrong. And if it was the other way around, I would condemn it too. But this trying to justify that situation is something I never thought. I never saw that coming. I cannot believe people are still trying to justify what Carmelo did. He was dead ass wrong. Again, with you guys not existing in reality, it's very frustrating as somebody who's very in tune with reality to have to exist in a world of people who are so utterly disconnected. And then I get called the insensitive one. I get called the crazy one. I get called the offensive one. No, I'm just real.
Y'all didn't play fair for 400 years. We ain't playing fair with y'all either.
You guys, I really don't have the patience to go here today, but I'm very done with this narrative about 400 years. If you want to go back to Africa, be my guest. If you hate America so much, you can get out with all the illegal immigrants. Like, if we want to get so for real again here, you know, no one's discounting how terrible slavery was, right? That's why we don't do it anymore. But you guys have not been through slavery. Okay, you're about 300 years detached from that. And truthfully, I know that this is hard to hear. The truth hurts, but you're in America because of slavery. You're literally in the best place on earth because of slavery. If the slaves were never brought over here, all of you guys would still be in Africa. And go ahead and go look at how Africa is doing. That's what I thought. And if you think that Africa's doing better than America, then again, be my guest. Go back to your homeland. Can we stop acting like what I'm saying is controversial? Why should I have to feel guilt about what I'm saying? I'm sorry that the truth hurts. I really am. It's just the way it is. No, I would never discount a lot of the racial things that have happened in America. I would never discount slavery. I would never discount the ways that Black people were treated back in the day. But we are long past removed from that. We didn't have any of the racial issues that we have today until like 5 minutes ago. And I think some of you guys really need to remember that.
I think if every trans woman who is arguing on TikTok Live currently about whether or not trans women are valid in female spaces just went into a woman's bathroom, peed standing up, looked at a turf while walking out, and said f***ing cry about it, we'd live in a better world.
And this, ladies and gentlemen, is exactly why women like me who hold the opinions that I do about the whole trans thing are valid. Okay, because you have threats to society walking amongst us, walking about us like this motherfucker right here. This whole video was an assault on my livelihood. It was an assault to my eyes and my ears, okay, and my physical safety as far as I'm concerned. I'm so sick of hearing that I'm a bigot and I'm all of these things, right? Because I don't exactly tolerate the trans ideology. Well, this is why. Bruh. Can you blame me? Because you got motherfuckers like this, Miss Pippi Longstockings over here, trying to threaten my very existence. Okay, I can't even go to the fucking bathroom in peace in the holy year of 2025 because people like this want to encroach on it, and I'm tired of it. So next time I have to hear that I'm homophobic or I'm bigoted or I'm transphobic, no, actually, I'm not. I don't care what you do with your life. Stay out of my business and I'll stay out of yours. In fact, I love Blair White. She's one of my favorite content creators. Don't tell me that I hate trans people, okay? I don't really care about you. I don't really care about anyone else, to be frank. When people like this just have to stick their nose into my business, even though I am begging them to stay out of it, sorry, you're gonna cop an attitude from people like me, okay? Because no, you do not get to just operate in the world unchecked. You do not get to put out horse shit like this onto the internet and just not get checked, okay? What you're saying is crazy. What I am saying is not crazy. What you're saying is insane. What I'm saying is normal and rooted in reality. And I will not be discussing it any further, not arguing, not debating. I'm right. Next. All right, you guys, this is going to be the final video because my patience is wearing about this thin right now for these people. Like I keep saying, I cannot believe, I cannot believe all of this is still happening. The waves of grief that you go through as a normal, sane person in this generation is unbelievable. I go from being extremely white-pilled when Donald Trump gets elected for his second term, right? And then I see stuff like this that is still largely floating around on the internet, interacted with and supported. And then I'm like all the way down here again, super black-pilled. So me, I'm like this all the time with my feelings about politics and culture. It's really all over the place. Truthfully, what's going on here is that we have two sets of ideals in this country and two visions for how we want this country to be run, right? How we want our society to be. And I think they just keep getting further and further apart and away from each other. And the further apart these ideologies get and these ideals for society, the further apart they get from one another, the less tolerant they are of each other and the less they are going to have the ability to coexist with each other. I am proposing a solution. Hey, here's my solution to the culture war. We all go ahead and pick a state that aligns with our morals, okay? We go to a state that has policies that align with our culture and how we want to live in society. Liberals get to go to a place like where I'm located, in Minneapolis, Minnesota, one of the most liberal places in the country. Yeah, in case you forgot, Tim Walz is my governor, and the people of Minneapolis continually elect him. Yes, even after all of the buffoonery of his vice presidential run, I guarantee you the people of Minneapolis will elect that motherfucker again, okay? And they'll do it loudly and proudly. So that's why people like me just simply can't live here. I can't exist amongst people like that because my ideals are so vastly different about how I want society to be run and how I want to exist in the world and how I want to raise my family to exist in the world. So for someone with more conservative ideals like myself, I should just move my ass down to Texas. Yeehaw! Howdy me! I'm here in Texas amongst people who want to run society like I do. The federal government just needs to give us all a year. In fact, I would even be okay with them funding the move. Give us all a year to pick a place that aligns with our morals. We'll all go and move there and never have to deal with any of this ever again. Until inevitably, liberal states and the liberal areas will eventually corrode and fall apart because anybody with a brain, anybody with a functioning brain knows that society cannot run from a liberal viewpoint, specifically a far left liberal viewpoint. We all know that that doesn't work. I mean, hello, look at California, look at New York, or look at Minneapolis. Yeah, society's crumbling, right? Things are extremely expensive. There is insane amounts of crime and homelessness and drugs. Things are out of control in blue areas. So as much as liberals think that this woketopia that they want is going to be great and effective and sunshine and rainbows, anybody who lives in reality and has actually been through some shit, actually experienced some real life, knows that that's just not how life works. We want to live somewhere where reality is the focus. So that's my solution, okay? Give everybody a year. Let us find a place, a state, a metropolitan area that aligns with our ideologies. Let us all go move there. You know what? For the hell of it, subsidize it. Subsidize the move. Subsidize the grand exodus. And when the liberal areas completely fall apart, they will come running back to the red areas, the conservative areas, begging for help. And unfortunately, the answer is going to be no, okay? Because we tried to warn you guys and you picked your side, all right? You picked it. Didn't pick it for you. You did that. Let's take a look at one more woke TikTok before I peace out.
How do the students address you as a non-binary teacher?
I go with all pronouns, they, them, he, him, she, her. I was brought up as he, him. And then I took a course in Boise, and one of the main themes was like, who would you be if it wasn't for colonialization? And so back in my country, we have this term called bakla. Historically, that word was actually used as a third gender. So I kind of reclaimed that word. Being non-binary just fits me more because I've never perfectly fit in like a boy box. I don't quite feel like a girl either. I don't know where to put myself, so they, them fits. So when I came to this school and they were asking me like, how do you think they should address you? So I said, you know, maybe like Miss Santiago, not Mr. Sometimes they'll say like Miss or Mr. At the end of the day, it's not like the biggest deal. Yeah, I feel like there's representation from the staff, the students, like the whole family as a whole. It's great.
I didn't even know it was possible to fit so many liberal buzzwords and phrases into one thought.
Breathe air.
Was that entirely incoherent to anybody else? No, that was just me? Okay. And this just proves my last point perfectly. This person and me will never be able to coexist because I don't want this person teaching my children. I don't want my children to be learning about this in school. I want them to go learn about things that matter. and things that won't put them on a terrible trajectory and mess up their entire adolescence. You go and do whatever you want. Seriously, I don't care, but just go do it over here and I'll go do it over here. And I hate that I feel that way because truthfully, we all want to be united in who we are as a nation, who we are as a country, what our values are, what our principles are. But unfortunately, I fear that might be too idealistic. At this point in 2025, it just feels like there is very little that is holding us together. Conservatives and liberals are just so at odds at this point that the glue that is holding us together and not unleashing an all out, I don't know, something bad is so thin. It's really quite sad because there used to be some things. We used to have some standards in society. We had lines in the sand, boundaries that you didn't cross. There were standards that we respected in society and in culture, but we have that no longer, largely due to the left because they went and took a piss all over the sand. So now the line, the boundary is gone. They want normal people to affirm their delusions, whether it's about LGBT stuff like this, or it's about race relations, whether it's about history, or apparently even illegal immigrants now. Apparently we can't even agree on that. Apparently the liberals want to have MS-13 gang members running around here because apparently an MS-13 gang member is more deserving of a fair trial in America than a former president. That's where we're at. I don't know if we are going to be able to bandage this damaged relationship that has been caused by liberals who have fallen for a lot of this Marxist propaganda. It's very tough to beat that propaganda out of people. And I just think it's going to take years of unbrainwashing some of this propaganda that has been absolutely beat into their minds. And until then, I'll be here on my channel reacting to woke TikToks and all other corners of the internet. That's just my place in all this. So that is all I have for you guys today. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. What do you think? Am I crazy or do you think I'm onto something here? And before you go, please give this video a thumbs up if you haven't already and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos and content like this. And I will see you guys in another one soon. And remember, God bless you, and God bless the USA. Bye.